but he's never afraid of the world. He's always giggling. And I remember this story. It's why I always say, nigga, are you enlightened? Because he's sitting there, they're filming a video, and Suge Knight, if you know this polarizing figure, sitting here with a gun in his lap, and there's 4 other guys, and they're all like really menacing, and they're gonna extort the video. And 50 Cent sees them, starts laughing, and starts running full speed. He runs to his trailer, gets a Uzi, and runs out and chases them. They get in the car and drive off. He barks at him like a dog. And he's laughing and shit. These niggas ain't won't be back again here.
A while ago, 50 Cent, the actual legend in the game, made a fiery warning on a live stream Instagram video, warning Suge Knight by telling him never to dare to cross his path. While on the surface, things may seem like the average beef between 2 celebrities, there's certainly more than meets the eye here. Want to know all about the bone of contention between the 2 parties? Sit back and relax as we dive right in. Suge Knight has been a menacing figure ever since he first made his way into the music industry. Back in the day when he was at his, dare to say, violent peak, everyone and anyone in the musical sphere knew his name meant trouble, no matter who you were and what you did. Interestingly, one of the numerous people Suge Knight had also tried to intimidate was none other than 50 Cent himself. It may have been what seems like ages ago to both of them, but 50 Cent certainly hasn't forgotten about it. And as a matter of fact, he still believes that Suge Knight shouldn't cross him or his path ever again. And if he does so, things will get ugly between the 2 of them. You see, 50 Cent and Suge Knight have actually met way more than just once. Far from that. They've had several encounters, but they have been quite different from the ones that Suge usually has with the people he's trying to bully, making their story more interesting to say the least. Suge Knight is one of the most notorious names tied to the rap scene, coming from the west coast of the United States of America. He has also interestingly managed a number of hip-hop legends in the game, like Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, and the king himself, Tupac Shakur. Knight was also the CEO and founder of Death Row Records, one of the earliest record labels promoting gangster rap music. And some of the most successful albums under the label include Dre's Chronic, Tupac's All Eyes on Me, and Snoop's Doggy Style, even though Suge's name was actually behind a lot of the big boy rap albums that made the genre what it is today. However, he didn't get the attention because of his record label. In fact, some would even argue that he gained and maintained most of his fame because he's a very controversial person. To be more precise, the majority of people who knew Knight knew him for his cold-blooded persona and not really for his musical influence. And if you didn't know this already, he's one of the names that most people connect to the unalivement of some of rap's finest, Tupac and Biggie. To say he was despised in the rap community is an understatement. We're talking about a man who resorted to violence whenever necessary, and his name was plastered over all the media at the time due to his crazy temper. Interestingly, he has been in and out of jail a couple of times, being charged with so many felonies ranging from robbery to manslaughter. And why wouldn't he? After all, he basically used violence to reach his goals. An example of this was when he had some of his goons go straight into a hotel room where Vanilla Ice stayed and threatened to throw him off a balcony. The reason? Well, simply because he felt he wasn't getting his cut from Vanilla's growing success and profits. In summary, he has been surrounded by chaos for quite a long time now, and it's almost as if he enjoys the thrill of being the bully in the rap scene. In case you're wondering where he is now, well, jail. He was sentenced to 28 years in prison for running over and, in the process, taking the life of a man called Terry Carter. However, 50 Cent isn't also the kind of man one can simply intimidate. As a matter of fact, 50 Cent has even cheated death on several occasions. And on one occasion, he actually received 9 bullet hits to his body, including his legs, hands, arms, and chest as well. While the wounds may heal, such amounts of trauma wouldn't. And maybe, just maybe, that's why 50 Cent stands quite confident, even when he's going face to face with such a dreaded adversary. Both of these men actually had a one-on-one confrontation in the past. That's right. Knight came for 50 Cent one time during the video shooting of one of his most popular songs, and it's said that 50 Cent didn't even flinch, a reaction that Knight absolutely wouldn't have been able to anticipate prior to that encounter. This encounter was told by one of the live audiences there, who goes by the name of Bizarre. He claimed to have been there on the spot when Knight dropped by, And according to him, the whole meeting took place before 50 Cent got signed to Shady Records. Apparently, things were fine for 50 Cent, but everything came to an abrupt end when he got on the Shady Records roster. Ever since that happened, he has had to be strapped at almost all times just to be on alert in case anyone decided to move different on the streets. Bizarre stated in one of his recent interviews regarding his life as a gangster that everything changed ever since 50 Cent joined the label, and 50 and his buddies had to start moving like they were military members going to fight a war or something. They had to be heavily strapped with ammunition, bulletproof vests, bulletproof cars, knives, guns, and all the essentials. According to Bizarre, even when Knight pulled up to the music video shooting of 50 Cent's In the Club with about 30 Mexicans, a lot of people there ran for their safety, but 50 Cent was still all cool about it all, straight up asking Knight why he even came there at all. In another interview he did for MTV, and this time with some members of the G-Unit gang who were present, they also talked about the topic when asked. They also all agreed to the fact that 50 Cent was simply ice cold and scared of no man, while adding that one of the main reasons Knight came that day to intimidate 50 Cent in the video shoot was probably to let 50 Cent know that he was most certainly on his radar. Interestingly, later on, the co-founder of the legendary record label Def Jam talked about his admiration for 50 Cent a while ago, praising him for his rather insane courage, and the fact that he could laugh even in the face of danger. He even went so far as to call 50 Cent enlightened ever since his near-death experience, hinting that it was probably one of the chief reasons why he never felt scared again, because he had basically been there and done that. Simmons also mentioned something rather interesting to further give meaning to his statement. He talked about how Suge Knight approached 50 Cent with a group of guys who were all carrying burners, but amazingly, not only was 50 Cent totally calm about the situation, but he also went straight to his car and picked up a gun to protect himself, just in case anyone felt like causing a scene. The aftermath was that Knight and his goons left, and 50 Cent happily told everyone around him that he won't be back in a while. And apparently he was right about that, as Knight and 50 Cent never reportedly had any such encounters again. 50 Cent's longtime friend and associate Tony has also talked about a confrontation between Suge Knight and 50 Cent. Dated well back in 2004, just before the Vibe Awards, 50 Cent told James Cruz, who was his co-manager, to walk right into a shop and buy a knife for each and every member of G-Unit to protect themselves, just in case things went south due to a lot of unresolved conflicts and beef being on ground. Interestingly, Suge Knight, who, mind you, wasn't even invited, dropped by, and indeed things did go south. Dr. Dre himself was hit in the head just moments before he received his award, and Young Buck, who was associated with G-Unit, stabbed the guy who punched Dr. Dre. And he was even charged for it too, although he didn't go to jail for it at all due to the general lack of evidence concrete enough to put him behind bars. In any case, 50 Cent is just different gravy, and everyone, including Suge Knight, knew it. But what are your thoughts about the history between Suge Knight and 50 Cent? Will there be a definite end to the fighting? Let us know in the comment section.